back to a new weekend fresh edition here of the LosAlamitos.com preview show. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, joined by the voice of Los Alamitos, Michael Wrona. Michael, good to see you back. Hopefully you stayed dry and safe, and we'll have to re-rack the weekend action as we canceled last Sunday here at Los Al.
Yes. We just had the one night of racing last week, and I told you on the preview show a week ago, mate, that Jose Flores, if things panned out on the track as they looked on paper, could do some leapfrogging in the standings. And what a momentous night for him and for Cruz Mendez.
Yes, let's talk about that. They had a 5-night win on Saturday night, and I think they teamed up for one more race, and it was a kind of a longer shot, and might have hit the board. But yeah, they had 5 winners, and we were chatting about this after the race, Michael, and from the era of Los Al moving to 3 nights and now even 2 nights, that might be a new record. I'll have to confirm with Professor G. I can't remember a jockey-trainer combination winning 5 races in a night in the last few seasons.
Yeah, the only way it might have happened is on a night of lots of trials, but I can't remember it, not in my time here.
Yeah, I felt like a standout. I think we've had the 4 nights, but the 5 really, I think, took it to that next level. So I'll have to pick the brain of Professor G and kind of maybe go over that, see if that's a new record. But what a night they had, and they had half sisters for Mr. Johnny Trotter were part of those 2 winners for that 5-night win.
Yes, indeed. And Pragmatic won the second last race on the program, my preview pick from last week. And you had the stakes winner in the Florentine, Just Dream of Me. So from the preview show last week, we got the late double courtesy of Flores and Mendez.
When Pragmatic got the job done, I was happy for the horse himself, right? Because he had been, so close. And he finally came through. And then the pressure was, I was like, they already won 4. Am I just asking for too much to make them win 5? So I was actually sweating. I was like, I'm going to be the jinx. I'm going to stop the streak. But kudos to Jose Flores and his team. And Cruz Mendez, they teamed up for 5, and they closed out the Florentine with a nice winner there in the nightcap. Okay, let's talk about this week. And why mess up the formula, Michael, when it's just rolling, right? I see a little bit of a trend. You're going for Jose Flores and Cruz Mendez right back this week.
If you're on a good thing, stick to it. And there is a tie-in with my preview pick this week to those 2 half-sisters you mentioned from last Saturday night. Because my pick this week is a Johnny Trotter-owned horse coming in for his first start in California for Flores.
Yes, and we're going to go to one Racy Sweet Corona. Race number 6 is a maiden event for the quarter horses. These are 3-year-olds and up, going the distance of 300 yards. And if you already had done your handicapping from last week's Sunday night program, there's a lot of horses that are entered back in this Saturday night card. They're a little bit more mixed up as far as where they landed in post positions and even fields. But one Racy Sweet Corona was entered last Sunday, part of that canceled card due to the storm we had. But one Racy Sweet Corona now draws the inside post. She's coming in from Ruidoso, and we got to say that workout on June 29th locally looks like he is ready to roll here on his local debut.
Very much so. This horse had a couple of starts last season as a 2-year-old. In fact, on career debut, managed to qualify to the Rainbow Juvenile and has had a couple of starts in this 3-year-old season before shipping west to the barn of Flores. And what's interesting as we take a look at this workout on July 29, Jose, is that the half-sisters worked on the same morning. Yes. Famous Cartel Jess and Famous Cartel Cowgirl. This is the solo drill by one Racy Corona.
And tell me, what you like about this work right here as we're going to roll it?
Everything. I mean, it was really difficult to fault. And the time came back as a 12-second flat bullet. The horse looked spectacular. And I know that you fancied one Racy Corona had last Sunday's races gone ahead. When the horse had the outside post position, I suppose Jose Flores is a little disappointed to have to move to the inside in the redraw.
That's the thing. Last week she was drawn on the outside, I believe, in a field of 5 or 6. What's the field this week? Field of 7, so a little bit bigger. And she switches to the inside post. Excuse me, he's a gelding. He switches to the inside post. So that's probably where Jose Flores is thinking, I go from the outside to the inside. But based on this workout, I'm gonna run it back again, Michael, because it's you got to appreciate how fast he was at the gate. And look at the rider. The rider's like, you can literally say the rider was holding on. The rider was not, he was just a passenger on this work.
Yeah, it's not like the horse was really being pushed hard to get down to that 12-second flat clocking. They simply don't go much faster or do it in as good a style as One Racing Corona did on the morning of July 29. Now, the 2-year-old fillies, the half-sisters, Famous Cartel Jess, on this same morning clocked 12.1 and Famous Cartel Cowgirl 12.3. Granted, they're 2-year-old fillies, and we're talking now about a 3-year-old gelding. But it's interesting that Jose Flores worked the trio on the same morning. You remember that workout earlier in the season that became so productive for Heath Taylor? Yes. I think it was a 3-horse drill, and they all just came out and went gangbusters.
Yes.
And even though these are obviously separate drills, they're on the same morning, and it just kind of reminded me of that. This could be a key workout morning of July 29 for the Jose Flores team. Look, I know we have gate 1, but honestly, looking through this field, based on this workout and how hot they were last weekend, I think 9-5 is acceptable odds. I think that it's quite decent, and I don't mind taking I try to steer away from favourites, but again, sometimes the favourite can be the best value, and I think the horse is closer to an even money shot despite the rail draw.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with this. I this is a horse that, I really was impressed with the workout. I made the notes from last week. I was interested to see where he was going to land this week, and he lands the unfortunate inside post. But based on how well he broke and how professional he looked, the post probably won't even matter given how impressive he looked in that morning drill. And we already know that he has all his starts in Ruidoso were farther than this distance. He was already a Rainbow Juvenile qualifier, so there's a lot of things to like for this nicely bred 3-year-old gelding.
Yep, sign me up. Let's keep this Flores Mendez train rolling.
I like it. I like that you're going back. What's that saying? Why changing when everything is working, right? I'm changing when everything is working. So, Mr. Johnny Trotter, they're going to be looking to get another nice winner. And he's being a 3-year-old. I don't see. Let me look at the early draft PPs. I don't know if these has. I wonder if he's paid into the Super Derby trials later on this year. He is a 3-year-old. Don't see it in the Nightlands. Maybe we'll find out. As we get closer to some of those 3-year-old trials, Derby trials at the end of the year. All right, we're back to our regularly. Excuse me, what a mouthful. Regularly scheduled programming, because I see that you're out somewhere and about. You're out there, so we're back to being a traveling show on the side. Tell us where you're at.
I'm in Colorado.
Okay.
Flew out on Monday to Denver Airport to visit a longtime friend that you and Los Alamitos fans would be well familiar with, Jonathan Horowitz, whom I've known since he approached me in the booth at Hollywood Park in 1999 as a 14-year-old aspiring race caller. He's gone on to announce at many tracks. His first call on a public address system came at Los Alamitos during Ed Burgart's long tenure. Jonathan, as a teenager, called a race. Was a youth-themed feature race night. And so that kind of paved the way for Jonathan's debut on the public address system. He's gone on to achieve a lot of things. He's become a very diverse career. He was the Arapahoe Park announcer for about 12 years until this season. Anyway, he's got a farm with his wife, Ashley, outside of Denver. Kathy and I have had a long-standing invitation to come visit, and it just happened with our schedules that this week worked. So we spent Monday night on Jonathan's farm, and then we transitioned to a town called Black Hawk, which it's a casino town, Jose. And
Kathy, I'm kind of thinking that Kathy has something to do with that deviation.
Yeah, well, consider that we spent one night on the farm with the horses and the Horowitzes, and 3 nights at the Black Hawk Casino.
Okay.
and that would be the Kathy influence coming to bear. But there's actually a method to our madness, because it's a lot closer than the Horowitz's place to the Rocky Mountain National Park. We used Black Hawk as a launching pad for an all-day drive through the national park yesterday, which was a wonderful experience. So it's been a fun few days.
Good to hear. How was the weather down there during your national park visit?
Very changeable, and the elevation is such that hiking is a much more strenuous undertaking. I did a 2-hour hike yesterday, and when you look at the elevation gain and the degree of difficulty, it would have been a piece of cake closer to sea level. But I tell you what, it had me huffing and puffing by the end, because the air is so thin. I was above 11,000 feet. The highest point in Rocky Mountain National Park is above 12,000 feet. So and the wind comes and goes very quickly. It changes dramatically from moment to moment. But enjoyed the day very much, and it's been a fun week.
I see what you're doing. You're training in higher altitude, so you're going to come back to Los Alamitos easy peasy. I mean, you're going to be rolling through these cards. We got 2 10-horse fields. We got a pair of 8-horse fields. I mean, you're going to be rolling through these cards. I see what you're doing.
Like the Riodoso horses potential.
Exactly. Yeah, you're doing that high altitude training elevation. So I like that. All right. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for checking in. And I like that you're sticking with the Johnny Trotter, Jose Flores combo. Let's see if they can get it done with one Racy Sweet Corona in race number 6.
Okay. Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
That's right, Pick Six players. Welcome back, as we're back here for a new week of racing at Los Alamitos on Saturday, August 26th. We're talking about the Saturday night program. Now joined by Christopher White. Chris, welcome back to the program. It's been it was a very good Saturday for the Jose Flores and Cruz Mendez pairing. We just talked to Michael. He's going back to Jose Flores. And I like that you're going to race 5, because this is the start of the Pick Six. So this could get us going in a nice Pick Six sequence here in race number 5.
Yeah, it's a horse who has a good amount of ability, and he's getting steadily better. Had trouble in his last effort and should have won the race, because he had a very nice workout in preparation for that event prior. Got a lot of talent. He's going to have to beat the Apolitical Open MRL, who you're very, very well familiar with, one of our your selections. The night we had the JCM triple, when our weekend preview selections for Jose won, mine won, and Michael's won all in succession for like a $46 triple. That was the night you had that first time starter beating the horse that's the 6-5 favorite in my particular race in race 5.
Yeah, you're going to the number 4 favored Nuke. And by the way, talking about last week, I'm gonna give you some slack, because both Michael's selection and my selection ended up winning last week. But your selection, Good Party, much troubled, got bumped, got pushed back, and then that pretty much took him out of the game. But the selection was Good Party from last week. I hope you don't give up on that horse next time out, because Good Party ran well with trouble last week.
No, I certainly did. He's one of those. I'm going to give him one more chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So make note, Good Party. He had excuses last week. So this week you're going to the 4 favored Nuke. Favored Nuke back on August 6th. We'll bring up this replay here. So we both liked them as well this night. It was August 6th, and he had the outside post here. And tell us what you think about this trip, outside post, favorite Nuke.
Well, he broke very slow, leaned back, and drifted out early and lost multiple lengths. It was slow in the stride, was under a hand shove throughout. See him lean back and throw his head up at start. Lost like a length and 3/4, 2 lengths. Slow in the stride, but put forth a huge run in the final half of the affair under light pressure, and got within like a neck of the whole thing and should have won handily.
Yeah, you can see he's finishing with big strides. And, and you're right, he probably made up, a length and a half. And you can see the winner was the biggest price on the board at 17-1 for Adan Farias. So the unfortunate start definitely cost him the win that night. Now he's drawn in gate number 4, though. But based on what he showed he should be one of the main contenders here.
He certainly should, because he's getting better each and every time. If he can just break within a half a length or so of the lead, his past the gap burst and big finish should put him right there throughout, especially with the Apolitical Open and one of the favorite in that particular affair on the outside.
And we both remember the mom. He looked like his mom right there. Remember his mom, thermal and equal energy? She would come rolling just like he did right there.
Yeah, been a very productive broodmare. She was a heck of a racehorse, and just as good, if not better, broodmare with all the winners she's dropped. But this horse got a ton of talent, just needs to get out of the gate and start to show that ability.
And he's still a coach, so I'm liking that they're they didn't immediately go to Geldem. So they're still hoping that he'll get things figured out. He was a beaten favorite last time out, but based on that kick there, obviously the talent is there, and obviously the pedigree is there to be much better. Are you in agreement that the horse to beat, the horse to catch, is the outside runner Apolitical Open?
Yeah, he's definitely the horse to beat, because he's got the nice post on the outside. He's quick. He's going to have the lead, and if we break within half a length, 3/4, we got a chance of running it down there.
I think that's the key. The start is the key, because Favorite Nook, we know he packs the late kick. It's all about that late finish. If he can break within striking range with the leaders, he should be in the mix of things. He's drawn next to a first-time starter who I didn't see any, a ton of early quickness in the workout. So maybe that's a good place to be, drawn in between a couple of runners that haven't really shown that much gate speed, and that might allow Favorite Nook to get a clean break.
Yeah, the first-time starter showed a little bit of speed in the debut, in the workouts, but the one drawn on the inside for Felix Gonzalez has had trouble getting on the gate in every one of his lifetime starts. So we should hopefully have a clear path to run, and any kind of a decent start puts us in the mix.
And also the runner on the inside, like you mentioned, CHA Political first. Look at the comments. Came in. So that, going in, that might give your runner a wide path to run there.
Yeah. Just break, and if a horse does break in, you have a clear path to run and show that big run. Coming back at 29, that's fine for me too.
All right, so that is Chris's selection, Favorite Nook, and race number 5. And don't forget, Michael's selection is one Racy Corona, race number 6. Now, that might be a nice way to kick off the $2 pick 6 come Saturday night with a 10-race program. And also, we want to kind of look ahead. We'll have the some of the stakes events that were canceled from last Sunday's card. They'll be carded for Sunday. And of course, we'll have the Go Man Go Handicap as well on Sunday night. So we expect some very nice older runners. So the Sunday night program is going to be stacked, because we expect, in addition to the Go Man Go, maybe two stakes events that we should recard for next week. So should be a good program. All right. As far as the simulcast signals, what are you tackling for the handicapping this year?
Well, we're Tama Park. Well, they closed their 23-night racing season last weekend. And Lone Star Park doesn't start up until September 8th. So we got Delta Downs. Nice. We're taking races 3 through 9 at Delta Downs, and got a couple of nice-looking runners there. So don't forget to check out our picks in the back of the program and or on the website, because our numbers are pretty good there last week.
Yep, you've been on a good roll. All right, Chris, best of luck with Favorite Nook. We'll be looking for that selection. And hopefully we start the pick 6 with the winner and also on the show. So have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you this weekend at Los Al.
All right, but you have a good night.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick 6 continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick 6 can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add $10,000 to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick 6 is one of the country's best.
Welcome back. Let's talk a little bit more about this Saturday night program here at Los Alamitos. 10 races. And again, race number 10 will be the running of the Sgt Pepper Feature handicap. First of 40,000, 350 yards. But first, before we talked about that race, let's talk about my key single of the early pick 4. My lock of the night will be in race number 1 for the Thoroughbreds. By the way, last week's selection was Just Dreamably, who ended up winning the Florentine for Jose Flores and Cruz Mendes. Off the layoff on the outside post. So that's a nice winner on the show. Race number 1, Saturday night, quarter horse and Thoroughbreds, 1,000 yards. Claimers going for a tag of 6,250. We got a field of 7 runners. And I'm going to the outside with the beaten favorite last time out, Big Cheddar. Now, Big Cheddar exits the same race that Awesome Heights won. Awesome Heights draws the inside post. He ran since that win. That win was back on July 22nd. He ran on August 13th. He just didn't have the same kick that he had in that previous race because he had a nice pace setup. He came back and finished fourth. So I'm going back to the beaten favorite. I'm going to Big Cheddar as my lock of the night, my key single for Saturday night. And let's go back and take a look at that replay on July 22nd. Big Cheddar did go off as the betting favorite. He had the outside post in this spot, and he ended up, I thought he broke okay from this outside post. He wasn't the quickest, but he broke in line with the leaders. And early on, you can tell Cesar Ortega wanted to see how the race was going to unfold, and he stayed close to the pace. He ended up pressing and dueling 3 wide. And I think this early battle and not being able to cross over cost him the race, because now Cesar is starting to work and he wants to kind of be able to clear the 5 in this race, but he wasn't ever able to do so. So that forced him to stay 3 wide. The 5 begins to want to float out as well, and that causes Big Cheddar to float out even wider into the 5 path in this event as the inside runner floated out as well. So this was a chain reaction of losing ground, 9 being able to cross over and save some ground. You can see the ralliers along the inside save all the ground, but Big Cheddar was still beaten under 2 lengths. And I thought, given all the ground loss, it wasn't that bad of an effort, even though he finished last in the field of 5 as the 3-2 favorite. I just felt that wide trip ended up costing him pretty much a chance at a win that night. So I feel like Big Cheddar, I'm going to give it another shot here. Here it is, Big Cheddar. I feel like that wide trip, that, losing all that ground, not being able to cross over and save some ground, really made the difference between winning and losing. Now, given that he finished last, might help our case as far as getting a better price at post time. So Big Cheddar 3-1 listed on the morning line. I'm going to take him right back. I think Cesar Ortega is going to be a lot more aggressive. He breaks just as well. I think he'll be intent on try to crossing over from the outside post. Now, we do have speed from River Tiber, who comes out of a win. It's slightly easier. Swamping and Easy, we know he can flash some good speed. He's drawing gate number 5. The 4, Bound to Bet, showed speed 2 starts ago when defeating the very game Tori Tommy. Sharp Warning. Scratchy Apache is more of a closer. He might benefit from a speed duel. So the 1, 2, 3 are more likely the better. They're more of a closers. Sharp Warning, Scratchy Apache, and Awesome Pie. So they want to see the 4, 5, 6, and 7 go out and duel each other to set it up for those closing kicks on the inside. So I'm hoping Big Cheddar has enough speed here to clear, break sharp from the outside post, and take them all the way. So that's going to be my lock of the night. Big Cheddar, race 1, 3-1 for Sally Rivera. Let's talk about the featured event. Let's take a look at the PPs for that race number 10. Race number 10, it is going to be the running of the Sgt Pepper Feature Handicap. 350 yards, 3 olds. We do have a field of 10, full field of 10. Let's run down through the field. I'm a 60-man coming in from Sacramento. Went up there, finished a good second. Now, the chart says he was 5th, down a length and a quarter. To my eye, he was never down that big of a margin. He was always in the mix of things. He had a pretty clean trip. He never made up that amount of ground because he was never down that much. So I'm a 60-man, second by a neck in that 6th event at Sacramento. Counterattack, looked good, winning with a very good time, 15:53, back on July 23rd. And then Marcelo comes out of the same race of the Gens list on California Breeders' Champions Weekend. He finished second to Space Flight. Interesting Eagle comes out of a Derby trial, broke a bit slow, just didn't have that kick to be much of a threat. Now, the interesting long shot to me in this race is Price Fixer. Price Fixer was the beating favorite in the Gens list where Space Flight prevailed there, but Price Fixer broke slow, and he wasn't really in the mix at all after that slow break from the outside post. And I kind of felt like Acebus knew he was beat. He didn't ask him for his best after that slow break. Ended up finishing evenly. I think Price Fixer at 10-1 is worth a second look because we know he can break much better than he did last time out. And Ruben Lozano has the mount tonight. Now, proximity, I'm saying from Remington Park, local workout of 12:30. She was the beating favorite in the Heritage Place Oaks, and she was probably best in that race. She was unlucky to miss by a head. She broke slow. She made, to my eye, she probably made up about a length. So she was down a significant amount of ground, and she rallied and put up a giant effort in defeat to only miss by a head. So that proximity was very game. She's very live here from Monte Rosa. Comes in with a local workout. 5-bar knockout, the other entry for Helaku Botillo Jr. It's going to be a big price at 30-1. Up to interest, upsetted price fixer in that Derby Challenge back on May 21st. Since then, he's finished fourth, and he just hasn't broken as well as he did. He switches from gate 2 and 3 to gate 8. That might help him. So there's a case to be made that we haven't seen up to interest repeat because of the trip he's got in the last few starts. Spaceflight draws gate number 9. He comes out of that good win on California Breeders' weekend, and he looked good. He looked good doing it. Now, it was an ideal trip because he broke right with the leaders, which is he rarely does that. He broke fairly well, and on top of that, he had a very wide path to run because Price Fixer floated to the outside. So Spaceflight, everything went right for him, and he really wanted that at 400 yards to be able to rally and kick on clear. So Spaceflight, no excuses. He proved best and a good win. Now, the outside post is going to be the morning night favorite here. Always a chance for Monte Rosa. He's a 3-year-old getting back against 3-year-olds because he faced the older foes last time out in the Spencer Childers. Second to London Toby. London Toby was ultra impressive, and London Toby was, pretty professional. He did everything right. He finished home with a very fast, blazing final eighth. I want to say it was in the 9.3 and change. So always a chance. Getting back against 3-year-olds. He's a horse to beat here with the outside post for Monte Rosa and Armando Cervantes. So that's a field for the Sgt Pepper Feature. And again, always a chance. Space Flight. Up to interest looked like, and proximity looked like the main contenders. Maybe a price fixer, a little bit of a long shot there could be interesting in the Sgt Pepper Feature. So, talking about the Saturday night, that's going to be wrapping up the Saturday night card here, race number 10. And then we're going to look to Sunday night's card, which will feature the running of the Go Man Go. So we'll take a quick short break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what's to come on the Sunday night program from Los Al.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos Pick Six is one of the country's best.
Yeah, the Pick Six has been getting strong support by our players, Professor. Thank you for that. How long has it been since Los Alamitos instituted that promo? It's got to be, 2 years? It feels like it's been a while now.
Yeah, I think it's been 2 years going on that second year here at Los Alamitos. Yeah. And like you mentioned, strong support every Sunday. Actually, the last 2 Sunday nights, the pools for the promo have been the highest of the season each time. So we had a season high pool, 3 weeks ago? Then 2 weeks ago, we beat that. And not racing last Sunday. But with the kind of car that we have this Sunday night, I think we should have another outstanding pick six pool. Again, we could have a carryover. If we don't have a carryover, we'll be adding that $10,000. Either way, I think it's going to be a huge pool on Sunday here at Los Al.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to the card. Again, we canceled due to our tropical storm, Hurricane Hillary. Thankfully, it mellowed out as it moved inland off the coast, Professor. How did the track conditions look to you?
Look really, really good, Jose. There was training here at Los Alamitos on Tuesday. No time workouts, but the horses were able to get on the track on Tuesday. Perfect. We had quite a few works this morning. And, of course, any gate work that we'll have, we'll be posting on losalamitos.com.
Yes. And, we've been showing some of the sharp workouts in the last few weeks here on the preview show because both Mike Wrona and I have been on this Jose Flores train, Professor. We've been kind of on those comebackers and local debuts, and those some of the resource workouts have been tremendous for the handicappers. And we've been watching some of those workouts. We've been impressed. And Jose Flores had a terrific night last Saturday. I was kind of asking you and kind of picking your brain. It feels like that 5-win night has been one of our highest, at least in the last few years, right?
Absolutely. Definitely a season high for any trainer this year. I know Monte Rosa has had some really big trial nights. Him and Armando Cervantes had some huge trial nights. Back in the day, Oscar Andrade and Jaime Gomez, they used to win a ton of races together. Even Scott Willoughby and Dr. Ed Allred. And it could have been, I want to say maybe Jesus Rios Ayala. There was one night where they had quite a few winners as well. And of course, Paul Jones, whether if it was with Joe Padilla or Ramon Sanchez or Cody Jensen, someone along those lines, he would get on a hot roll on a trial night and he would rack up victory after victory. But with that big night on Saturday, Jose Flores back to the top of the standings here at Los Alamitos. Now, I think he's got 37 wins for the meet, a couple of more wins with Jose Flores, Monte Rosa right there behind him.
Yeah, that's going to be a very good battle to, round out the rest of the season here in Los Al. I was talking with our racing secretary, Jordan. He mentioned that both stakes that were carded for last Sunday's card are going to move to Sunday's card now this week. So we had the Taking on the Cash and also the Los Angeles Claiming Futurity. So those two teamed up with the Go Man Go that we'll have on Sunday. It should be a terrific card here at Los Al.
And Jose, did you notice in the Taking on the Cash who was entered in that race? Dynasty. A horse that won a trial to the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity, did not want to go in there and get claimed. So instead, switch gears a little bit, went in the Taking on the Cash handicap on Sunday. And of course, the big race will be the Go Man Go handicap on Sunday night. And there's the field, the expected field for this Grade 1 400-yard race, $100,000 on the line, a possible berth to the champion or champions on the line. And look at this group headed by the world champion Empressum. Scoops Dynasty has been right there. And what an unlucky year for Scoops Dynasty. He is right there every single race, still looking for that big stakes win this year after having so many last season. London Toby coming off of a nice victory. The Spencer Childers handicap. Shott Gun started out red hot here at Los Alamitos, finished third last time out. That was in the Bank of America California Challenge. Eye on the Sky had a nice victory earlier this season. And rounding out the field, Slews Fortune for trainer Sergio Morfin. This horse ran the Cahuillas Bar handicap. We haven't seen a huge effort yet from Slews Fortune this year, but he's going to be part of a really nice field here in the Go Man Go.
That's going to be a fun. What a rematch. What a rematch that we could get in store here with Empressum and Scoops Dynasty. Obviously, London Toby comes out of a sharp win in the Spencer Childers. Shott Gun came up on a good roll here this season, like you mentioned. So this could be the expected field for the Go Man Go Sunday night. We'll see where they land as far as post positions. And boy, did Empressum and Scoops Dynasty put on a show last time out, Professor. What a show they put on.
What an incredible race by Scoop Dynasty. So fast out of the gate there and just barely missed winning the Bank of America Challenge Championship. He has been so unlucky this year, but has had so many outstanding performances here at Los Al. And of course, Empressum, what more can you say about this runner? Winner of the Bank of America, winner of the Vessels Maturity, was second in the Winter Championship to start the campaign. And now eyeing another Grade 1 victory here in the Go Man Go handicap. He's starting to put that kind of a big resume to hopefully defend from his connections, defend his world title. There's a horse in New Mexico by the name of KJ Desperado, who is also building quite a resume of his own. So those two horses look like they're at the top of the charts as far as the World Championship race are concerned right now, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. That's gonna be a not only a good battle to watch the rest of the season, but those are top of the list right now as far as World Champion honors are concerned. So looking forward to the Sunday night card. Should be a great card, not only because of the stakes events, but also because we have Empressum and Scoops Dynasty, London Toby. What a field here that we can have going on in the Go Man Go. All right, Professor, thank you for joining us and kind of previewing what's to come Saturday night. That should be not only a tremendous pick six, but also a tremendous late pick four with all those stakes events lined up.
Absolutely. Some big-time names, the claiming stakes, a 10-horse field. Taking on the Cash handicap was a 10-horse field last Sunday. We'll see if every horse enters back into this Sunday's action. And, of course, all those big names in the Go Man Go handicap. and the Sgt Pepper Feature as well at 10-horse field. That's happening on Saturday, like you previewed earlier on the show. So terrific weekend of quarter horse stakes racing action here at Los Alamitos. First post on Saturday, 7:35 p.m. And as always, we'll follow shortly the final race at Del Mar on Sunday night. Looking for a really nice weekend of quarter horse racing action.
All right, Professor, over under. Give me the line on the amount of claims for one single horse in the claiming futurity.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think for one single horse, I'm going to say about 6 or 7.
Okay.
With Dynasty out of there,
Yeah,
that would have been the most popular horse in the claiming box. There's still going to be some really nice names in there. And, they're going to get involved. I always love going out there in that corner because there's just this huge pool of people just waiting to see, what names Nate Estrada, our assistant racing secretary, pulls, and who's going to be the lucky winner, who's going to take some of these claiming horses. One other thing to remember, Jose, is that last year the claiming price was $12,500. This year is $16,000, so a little bit higher price. I don't think that's going to affect too much the popularity of these horses getting claimed, but it might make a little bit of a difference there. The big thing is Dynasty, who was the extremely well bred, the terrific energy FTD Dynasty, the sire. That one is going to be going into taking on the cash stakes, so that takes out one big possible horse to claim out of the claiming futurity.
Now remind me, was it last year did Paul Jones lose Hayshaker or did he claim Hayshaker?
No, he lost Hayshaker last year.
So that might be.
Yeah, Jaime Gomez ended up claiming Hayshaker. The previous year, it was Doc's Best Woman that won the race, and Jaime had him, and he lost him.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. So Dynasty out of the claiming futurity. They didn't want to lose them. We'll see who ends up exchanging hands come Saturday night. I'm gonna say the line at 8. I'm gonna say we can get up to an 8-weight shake for one specific course.
I said 6 or 7, so we're right there.
Okay,
pretty similar. All in all, I'm looking about maybe 15, 14 total claims. We'll see.
All right. Well, Professor, thank you for joining us. Good to catch up with you this weekend, and stay dry. It looks like track is in perfect condition for racing. So I'm looking forward to being back at Los Al this weekend. I'll see you out there on Saturday.
I'll see you on Saturday night. Bye, Jose.